Tonight, Canadian scientists find a new antibiotic with the help of artificial intelligence. High-tech leverage in the lab.
A really important and powerful tool to help speed up the discovery of medicines.
A promising advance in the battle against a deadly superbug. On the run from raging wildfires. An emergency exodus from northern Manitoba.
We had a big gust of wind, so of course that fed the fire, and it started to get bigger and bigger.
Communities at risk and lives uprooted. Plus, grief and gratitude for Tina Turner.
She's definitely left her mark on this world.
From fans to celebrities, the outpouring of tributes to a global icon.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina.
Good evening, everyone. We have been hearing a lot about the growing influence of artificial intelligence, and we begin tonight with its potential to revolutionize science. Canadian and U.S. researchers used AI to narrow down thousands of chemicals and fast-track the discovery of a new antibiotic. As CTV's Adrian Gobrio reports, it could be used to treat a superbug the World Health Organization calls a critical threat.
In the world of medicine, AI has put biologists on a bullet train towards transformative trials.
Artificial intelligence approaches are going to fundamentally transform how we discover new human medicines.
Inside this lab at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, Professor Jonathan Stokes and his team have been harnessing the power of AI for the last 2 years. The result? The creation of an antibiotic that has the potential to defeat a deadly bacteria identified as a critical threat by the World Health Organization.
The name of the bacterium is Acinetobacter baumannii, which is a mouthful. I believe it's public enemy number one when it comes to antibiotic resistance.
The drug-resistant pathogen lives on door handles, on top of tables, and a long list of surfaces inside hospitals and long-term care centers. It causes infections, pneumonia, and death.
New antibiotics are quite urgently needed.
With good reason. A study found 1.2 million people died from antibiotic-resistant bacterial infections in 2019.
To get to this point, have you had to train your AI model?
100%. In your mind's eye, picture like a stack of flashcards where everyone just has a different chemical structure on it, and you just start showing it. And it'll say, I think this could be an antibiotic. I don't think this one. I don't think this one. Probably this one.
Once fully up to speed, it took artificial intelligence just an hour and a half to produce a short list of strong predictions.
We can look at those and then go into the laboratory and test a relatively small set of chemicals as opposed to like the whole list.
The new antibiotic has since successfully treated infected wounds in mice and killed bacteria samples taken from human patients. A quantifiable quantum leap in a field of research a century in the making.
The next step is to perfect the drug and then perform clinical trials. Professor Stokes expects it'll take until 2030 before AI antibiotics are available for prescription. Omar.
All right, Adrian, thank you. That discovery is a positive step, but there are also perils and pitfalls to artificial intelligence, especially when it comes to personal data. Today, 3 provinces joined the Federal Privacy Commissioner to investigate OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT. CTV's senior political correspondent Glenn McGregor on the concerns over consent.
The boom in artificial intelligence has seen it used to write university term papers, to pilot self-driving vehicles, and just this week, to create a disturbing fake image of an explosion at the Pentagon. Now OpenAI, the U.S.-based owner of the leading application ChatGPT, is under investigation by federal and provincial privacy commissioners in Canada over the protection of personal data. A potential concern, not just the usual information users provide when they sign up, but also the queries they submit through the chatbot, which uses machine learning to provide answers to virtually any question typed into the app.
You may be asking it medical information, location information, information related to your likes, dislikes, political views. So it starts getting very intrusive.
Federal Privacy Commissioner Philippe Dufresne says he's joining up with counterparts from Quebec, Alberta, and British Columbia to determine if the company obtained valid and meaningful consent for the collection, use, and disclosure of the personal information of individuals based in Canada via ChatGPT. The tool has already been blocked in Italy over privacy concerns, and lawmakers in Europe are considering taking more action to govern chatbots' use of copyrighted material. OpenAI's chief executive officer told the U.S. Congress he's willing to work with government to put some guardrails in as AI races ahead.
If this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong, and we want to be vocal about that. We want to work with the government to prevent that from happening.
New legislation would give the Privacy Commissioner sharper teeth when dealing with violations by raising the maximum fine to $25 million. That bill, though, is still before Parliament and not yet law. Omar.
All right, Glenn, thank you. Surging demand for AI stocks pushed NVIDIA Corporation to a nearly $1 trillion company today. It's now the fifth most valuable firm in the U.S. Shares in the California-based chip maker shot up over 24% today, pushing its market value to nearly $940 billion. The company recorded a quarterly profit of $2 billion. A major wildfire in one of Manitoba's largest First Nations forced thousands to evacuate overnight and prompted a state of emergency. The out-of-control fire closed in on parts of Pimicikamak Cree Nation and Cross Lake, pushing many to make the smoky drive to safety in Thompson, The Pas, and Brandon. CTV's Manitoba Bureau Chief Joe Makashon on the threat and new signs of relief.
The emergency came as night was falling in Pimicikamak. 7,000 forced to flee a northern Manitoba forest fire. A fire that had been smoldering for a week, eating up 1,800 hectares, was suddenly fanned by a southern wind, turning it into an inferno, pushing it closer to the community, and the evacuation order was given.
You got about 3.5 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours to evacuate people.
So a plan originally prepared for the pandemic was used in this fire emergency. Residents were told to leave their belongings behind and drive through heavy smoke to a safe location where they were given fuel to drive through the night.
I was kind of freaking out because the fire was so close to where I live.
Ross and thousands of others have been relocated to other Manitoba towns and cities. This late-night evacuation call left agencies scrambling.
It's certainly a challenge to find hotel rooms, and we did the best we could to set things up as quickly as we could, and we continued to work through the morning finding more hotel rooms.
60 crews have been working on the fire, attacking it from the air and the ground. They created a fire stop that helped slow it, but it was rain today that finally lessened the threat.
We're just doing the logistics of actually bringing people back now.
Chief David Monius says evacuees who have nowhere else to go can come home, but only if they are healthy enough to withstand the smoke, and they may be asked to leave again on a moment's notice.
So there's hot spots that they need to find, and they need to put those out.
But for now, some relief is in the forecast in the north, at least 2 more days of rain and light winds. Jill Makashon, CTV News, Winnipeg.
And recent wet and cooler weather is also bringing relief in Alberta. The number of wildfires in the province is half what it was 2 weeks ago when the province declared a state of emergency. And as of tomorrow, some fire bans will be changed to restrictions.
A fire restriction means you would be able to have wood campfires in designated campgrounds and on private property, such as a backyard fire pit.
Despite the welcome change in conditions, officials are warning the season is far from over. To date, wildfires have chewed up more than 1 million hectares of land. There's also another battle in Alberta, a political one. Monday's provincial election is shaping up to be a tight race, and with 3 days to go, advanced voting is on pace to break records. CTV's Alberta Bureau Chief Bill Fortier on the battlegrounds.
In quiet Slave Lake, Alberta, rush hour isn't so rushed. And it seems neither are voters, just days away from a provincial election.
Have you decided yet who you're voting for?
I haven't, actually.
Yeah, I'm still like a lot of people, just right down the middle.
I haven't done enough research on candidates or anything like that, to be perfectly honest.
Typically, Alberta elections are decided in the big cities, but this one, just days away, is expected to be a close race between the United Conservative Party and the New Democratic Party. So the election could come down to a small-town showdown.
It's definitely an interesting position for our community. Usually rural Alberta aren't the regions that have a say.
After 40 years of conservative MLAs, the Lesser Slave Lake seat went to the NDP in 2015, then to the UCP in 2019.
I think it's going to be tight in this riding for sure.
This former mayor and local Boston pizza owner considers himself at the center of the political spectrum, but he says moves by the NDP government in 2015, like raising minimum wage and business taxes, made it hard to squeeze out a profit.
It was the hardest time I ever had trying to support the community that I live in. And for me, I'm not going back to that.
That sentiment was clear in the last election. The UCP won 63 seats, most of them rural, compared to the NDP's 24. So to make the race as close as polls are predicting, the New Democrats would have to make big gains in Calgary and pick up a few country constituencies. Analysts say there are several that could swing.
Everybody's been focusing on Calgary because the path to majority runs through Calgary, but the NDP cannot win with just Calgary seats.
Lesser Slave Lake is one of the province's largest electoral divisions in area, but it has a population of only about 27,000 people. Still, the decisions made in small communities like this could have a big impact on the overall balance of power for the entire province. Bill Fortier, CTV News, Slave Lake, Alberta.
The Atlantic hurricane season begins next week, and the forecast calls for a fairly typical few months. 12 to 17 named storms are predicted. 5 to 9 will become hurricanes, and up to 4 will be a Category 3 or higher. But it only takes one storm to cause chaos, and parts of Nova Scotia are still recovering from Hurricane Fiona, with empty lots where homes once stood.
Our neighbor's house was condemned and torn down. Of course, the roof blew off that house and crushed our other neighbor's garage across the street.
Fiona left 3 people dead and caused more than $800 million in damage. A powerful typhoon in Guam has left tens of thousands without power. Typhoon Mawar hammered the small Pacific island with damaging winds and torrential rain, scattering debris and disrupting the water supply. It was the strongest storm to hit the U.S. territory in more than 20 years. U.S. military bases on Guam have also been hit by hackers linked to China, according to the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, which includes Canada. In this country, accusations of foreign interference from Beijing will not face the scrutiny of a public inquiry, but the man who made that recommendation will have to testify on Parliament Hill. CTV's Kevin Gallagher reports.
Having Mr. Johnston appear is what needs to happen.
Conservatives are demanding David Johnston appear at committee to explain why he rejected a public inquiry.
This is essential so that Canadians can have confidence in our democratic institutions.
An unnecessary tactic, according to the Liberal committee chair, who says the former Governor General was going to come anyways.
We have not seen any signs of him not wanting to come.
The committee voted to have Johnston appear no later than June 6th. Where he'll face questions about the confidential intelligence leaked to some media outlets that have escalated concerns of political interference from China. His report said the leaker risks great harm to Canada's ability to gather intelligence, and that malice cannot be ruled out.
This threat is pretty pervasive, and we need to have good intelligence in order to fight it. And those things that are compromising our ability to fight it, such as leaks, are really going to damage us more in the long run.
The alleged leaker told the Globe and Mail they hoped that by providing the public with information, the country would begin a much deeper conversation. It's a discussion pro-democracy advocates have been asking for, as many face threats and intimidation from Beijing.
I've been warning the government about this since 2006 in various parliamentary subcommittee hearings. Falling on deaf ears.
National security consultant Calvin Krusty says decades of government inaction has frustrated many intelligence officials he knows.
I would say there's probably a degree of relief within the security and intelligence community that some of these conversations are finally surfacing and becoming public.
Tonight, CTV News has confirmed the Prime Minister will allow 2 national security agencies tasked with reviewing Chinese election interference access to confidential cabinet documents. Omar, a recommendation from Johnston's report.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Police in London are investigating a car crash just outside the British Prime Minister's home and office. This silver hatchback was caught on video heading straight for the front gates leading to 10 Downing Street. Armed officers immediately cleared the busy area and the suspect was arrested. The collision is not being treated as terror-related. Rishi Sunak, who was in his office at the time of the crash, later left in a motorcade. Time for a break, but when we come back.
It is time for Congress to act now.
The threat of a U.S. financial downgrade in the countdown to a crucial deadline. Plus, fallout from a massive inferno in Sydney, Australia. One of the most wanted suspects from the Rwandan genocide has been arrested in South Africa, ending a decades-old manhunt. Fulgence Kayishema was a police officer in 1994 and allegedly ordered the killings of more than 2,000 people. He's now believed to be in his early 60s and had been on the run for more than 20 years, using false identities and forged documents. An estimated 800,000 people died in the genocide. The founder of the far-right group Oath Keepers was sentenced to 18 years in prison for his role in the U.S. Capitol riots.
He was just a convenient target. The Oath Keepers were a convenient target. The DOJ looked at them and said, oh, here are the scapegoats of what happened on January 6th.
Stuart Rhodes was given the longest sentence yet for a January 6th defendant. He was convicted of seditious conspiracy last November for rallying his followers to storm the Capitol after Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. The judge also rejected his claim of being a political prisoner, calling him an ongoing threat. And the race to avert an economic crisis south of the border is coming down to the wire. The country's treasury is just a week away from running out of money, leaving just days to resolve a political standoff over raising the debt ceiling. Talks are progressing, but as CTV's Richard Madden reports, a deal is still elusive.
As America moves ever closer to its first, potentially catastrophic economic default, another firm warning from President Joe Biden.
There will be no default, and it's time for Congress to act now.
U.S. lawmakers have until June 1st to raise the debt ceiling, or else Treasury will run out of cash, unable to pay America's loans, bills, and benefits for the first time ever. Overnight, global ratings agency Fitch fired a warning shot. It may downgrade America's perfect AAA credit rating, citing an increased political partisanship that's hindering reaching a resolution.
Just this suggestion that there could be a default.
So are you worried about a potential downgrade?
Well, the timing is important. If we can come to some agreement, it shouldn't have to come to that. That would be so dangerously close to lowering the credit rating of the United States.
The impasse is over spending. House Republicans want to cut more.
Look, there's no agreement still. It's all agreed to. There's a couple issues still hanging out there that we got to get done.
While the White House and Democrats refuse to cut social programs and blame Republicans for engineering the chaos.
You've made a political calculation that you will be successful in 2024 if you crash the economy.
If Treasury starts missing payments, the consequences could spook markets, drive up interest rates, and possibly trigger a recession, damaging America's prestige on the world stage.
If we don't pay our debts, will other countries see us as a less reliable partner? This seems so unnecessary, and it is.
Congress is now on break for the Memorial Long Weekend, so the window is rapidly closing. But both sides say they're still negotiating, insisting they're making progress. Richard Madden, CTV News, Washington.
Still ahead, a unique way of serving and protecting. A police officer's wild ride to rescue a runaway horse. Some tense moments for firefighters in Sydney, Australia today when flames ripped through a 7-story building. Walls weakened by the intense heat crashed to the ground. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured. The building was an abandoned former hat factory. People in nearby apartments were evacuated just as a precaution. Evacuation warnings are in effect in Mexico as a volcano spews thick smoke, ash, and lava on nearby towns. The El Popo volcano is located just 90 kilometers from Mexico City and recently entered a period of intense activity. Experts say a massive eruption isn't expected anytime soon, but the explosions have disrupted air travel. A bizarre sight in Burbank, California, where a police officer used some of his off-the-job training to rescue a runaway horse. He tracked down and hopped on the horse named Oreo that got separated from its owner. It had got spooked and scampered away. The policeman, who had grown up around horses, was able to ride Oreo back to his owner. A top cop indeed. After the break.
Her story is just one of triumph over adversity, and I just found her really inspiring.
Heartfelt tributes keep pouring in for the queen of rock and roll. And finally tonight, people around the world are paying their respects to the powerhouse rock sensation Tina Turner, who is being remembered not just as a legend, but for using her voice to help other women find theirs. Here's CTV's Joy Malbin.
For all her success, 60 years in the spotlight, Tina Turner was above all a survivor.
My life with Ike was one that a lot of maybe people are familiar with, the husbands that practice brutality.
Helping to break the silence on domestic violence by speaking publicly about the abuse at the hands of her then husband, Ike. Turner's life became an Oscar-nominated movie and later a Tony Award-winning musical. As fans around the world showed their love for the woman who gave them courage.
Her story is just one of triumph over adversity, and I just found her really inspiring.
Turner strutted her way to stardom with a gritty, soulful sound. The spiky hair and stilettos, carving out a solo career, a woman in her 40s. Musicians paid tribute to the queen of rock, who paved the way for future superstars like Lizzo and when sharing the stage with some of the biggest names wasn't enough, there was the big screen and barriers to break.
First of all, there were no black parts for women. I had to actually wait. I've been singing all my life. That was no challenge.
Singing her truth, overcoming pain, she once told Oprah,
because I believed in something inside of me that told me that it can get better, or you can make something better, and that I wanted better.
A legacy her fans would agree is Joy Malbin, CTV News, Washington.
Simply the best. That's a snapshot of this Thursday. For all of us at CTV National News, thank you for watching. John Venevelli Rao will be here tomorrow. Good night.